So the idea that we can kind of let the air out of some of these financial bubbles without them popping is probably a bit of a stretch, but the story is absolutely not going to be the same everywhere.
So right now there is a bit of a perfect storm going on as far as, like you're saying, people are becoming older. We've got less people supporting people that are not working. Interest rates have gone through the roof. Inflation's gone through the roof. And a lot of experts and economists are predicting a very large crash in global financial markets. They're talking about a bigger crash than the 2000 tech crash, the 2008 GFC, and even the 35% fall we saw in 2020. Do you believe that we are headed for a huge financial crisis or crash bigger than we've ever seen before?
There's a million things that go into answering that, so I'm not sure I have a conclusive answer. I can tell you that as the world has aged demographically, capital has been available at greater volumes with greater ease at lower rates than any time in human history, and that pretty much defines the last 15, 20 years. And now the people who generated all that capital, the baby boomers as they were moving towards retirement, are moving into retirement. And so the capital costs were always going to skyrocket about right now and continue rising at least into the mid-2030s. So we have 15, 20 years of incredibly cheap capital that we now have to process through. And if you look at just the raw data, the United States is probably okay. We seem to have at least learned most of the lesson from the 2008 financial crisis, but Australia hasn't. Australian credit has risen by a factor of 7 since the year 2000. In the case of India, you're talking about 14. In the case of China, you're talking 34. So the idea that we can kind of let the air out of some of these financial bubbles without them popping is probably a bit of a stretch, but the story is absolutely not going to be the same everywhere.